Swamp ass. Sweaty butts.
Yeah, I'm also stuck to my chair right now.
Alright, we're just gonna go. The faster we go, the faster we get out of here. What do I say at the beginning?
3, 2, 1.
Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Straight out of the Scarlet Halls and beneath the waves. I'm Slidewhistle.
I am Immunization.
I am Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horde Punching Bag.
We are here.
Deep beneath the waves.
Amongst the beautiful coral.
And the gross horde that keep pooping on me. We made it to Nazjatar. And I love it, and I only kind of hate it a little bit.
It's one of the first times I'm really seeing just how much the Horde outnumbers us, at least on War Mode.
Yeah.
I've gone through the entire expansion, and this is the first time that I'm like, wow, they're really here.
Don't know if I will ever be part of a winning effort during any of these world PvP zones. Man, it's pretty rough out there.
Let me tell ya, your boy was a part of a winning group today. I won.
Oh, spill the beans.
A lot of it is shard based, I think, is what I was reading. So we just ended up on a shit shard where it was like more horde than alliance as usual. But some people were saying that there were like shards where it's more alliance or where it's more balanced. So I was trying to organize a group to get together in like general chat to fight and defend these flags. Someone said, dude, don't bother. Just go to Group Finder and join a group. And then I did, and I joined like an alliance raid that just, we had everything locked down. So from now on, we should just do that. We should just join a big raid and we'll win.
That works. If we just get rid of all the enemies on our server, then they won't fight us.
I guess, I mean, I don't know how many people play in War Mode who listen to us, so I guess if you didn't know, if you have War Mode on in Nazjatar, you get to be a part of this epic battle across the entire map that happens every 3 hours where you just capture flags. It's kind of like the towers in Outland, you know, those big gross buildings that you have to like control. It's kind of like that, and you get like tokens and currency and stuff.
If you don't know, now you know.
And knowing is most of the battle.
But I guess we can just talk about what we did in WoW. Aaron, what did you do in WoW this week, last week, every week?
This week in WoW, I was mostly, leveling a little bit my neck to try and get that to 50. But more importantly, I did the new content. 8.2. Went to both Nazjatar and Mechagon, though our Mechagon experience was very limited. Probably spend later this week doing that. I'm out there in the tides doing Nazjatar stuff. Wish my equipment was new, but because we were pretty on the ball raiders, I don't think I'll be getting a new thing until the next raid.
Eventually, if you get enough mana pearls, you can upgrade that benthic gear. It goes high. It rolls up to like what? I think it's like 435 it rolls up to.
425, I believe.
The 385s go to 425?
Yeah, that is correct. You can keep putting mana pearls in them until they max out at 425.
Oh, dang.
The price of it keeps going up, though, so it's going to cost more mana pearls the more. But you probably have gear you could replace with some mana pearls.
Oh, you know it. So, Immune, what did you do this week in the World of Warcraft?
Well, there's this tiny little thing that happened, and it's called 8.2. I don't know if you guys heard about it. So I spent a lot of time yesterday just going through Nazjatar. I've not even really touched Mechagon yet, but, did all of the questing so far in Nazjatar. I messed around with all these new world quests, this new zone, the bodyguard. We'll get into all of that, but it's just been so much to do. It's felt so fresh. It almost felt less like a patch and more like a new expansion day. I felt like there's so much to do, and I was so excited.
There's so fucking much, and I love it. Like, there's no way I can do all this. I can't do it all, but I kind of like that feeling of not being able to finish everything.
Yeah, like last night we didn't want to go to bed because we wanted to keep playing WoW. But yeah, Slide, what else did you do in WoW this week?
Well, before the patch dropped, I was getting everything caught up. I got my gnome, his exalted rep. I got my hunter, some ranks of neck level, which I guess I should have just waited for because they made neck levels a lot easier to get in 8.2, which I should have honestly just waited.
Yep, I did like 3 world quests, and my 10% is at 90 now.
Yeah, it shoots the fuck up. But so, just a lot of time Mechagon and Nazjatar, or more in Nazjatar with the boys. We were running wild on the Horde. We're getting essences. What essences do you guys have? Like, what's your essence count right now?
I have 3. I have the Fire Mage one, which is just an attack, the one that is essentially Zelda's teleport from Smash, and one that just makes you feel good and you can Fire Blast a lot.
I have the same 3. So we're
There you
tied.
go.
Alex, what you got over? Or Immune, what you got over there?
Well, what have you guys been doing? I only have 2. I have the one that they basically give you, which is like an instant cast, heal, or damage, depending on how you use it. And then I have the Zelda's teleport one that you guys have.
I think it's because we probably did the bodyguard level up.
Yeah, that's once you do the bodyguard level up, you get them to level 3. Jaina gives you the other one, which for us is the more Fire Blast.
And get this, Aaron, the Fire Blast one, Memory of Lucid Dreams, is currently Fire Mage's best major and minor essence power. It's number 1.
I was looking at it today, and I was like, I know you were like, oh, this attack is so cool, and I'm like, I got to get rid of the attack one. This sounds a lot better.
And that's going to be with combustion. Because Aaron's a Fire Mage, and I'm a Fire Mage in PvP only and in world content. But, like, holy shit, like, this thing with combustion is just going to wreck people. We're going to get so many extra fire blasts out of it.
I'm very much looking forward to it.
It makes it so it increases fire blast regeneration by 100%. So, like, we just can pump out extra fire blasts and extra fire blasts. Ooh. There's so many pies to put my fingers in, and I don't know which pies to start with.
My stinky big fingers, I'm going to put them in all of the pies.
Augustus, no.
Yes.
Well, I guess we can touch upon our raid progress. We didn't really raid.
I'll say none.
But we did do the Glory of the Old Era Raider, because we're gonna wait one raid cycle, that way we can go in and crush it. And crush it we did. We got that in 2 raid nights, only because we made some minor mistakes trying to get the one from Fetid Devourer.
Yeah, but now we have this really cool Krog mount. I don't have anything anywhere near close to what this thing looks like, so it's a nice addition to my book of mounts.
And luckily for everyone, it can't fly, which means soon I won't be using it.
Nope, poor guy. They should add wings to him, or like a little jetpack, or like just blood, like just blood fuels him through the air.
Which brings me to a serious moment of reflection I had the other day while in the shower.
Uh-oh.
For those who don't know, I typically don't like to use mounts. I typically just do running wild, which is the Worgen gets down on all 4s and goes mount speed. But Worgen can't fly, and I can't handicap myself like that.
Oh shit,
but
that's right.
I've never thought about this. What mount is Growlina actually going to use?
Come on.
Is it gonna be the Fire Mage disc?
Yeah, you know the answer. She's gotta ride that fucking sewer cover. Just ride it around town.
I think that I'm going to protest by riding the worst flying mount. So you'll just see Growlina frowning in her Hearthsteed and just DMing the developers like, let the Worgen fly. Come on.
Hey, I like the Hearthsteed, and I've actually gotten compliments on it riding it around in the wild before.
Wait, you've gotten compliments on riding the Hearthsteed?
People don't own Hearthstone?
Yeah, once or twice I've gotten whispers that they're like, whoa, where did you get this mount? And I was like, Hearthstone.
You know what's funny though is that as much as like we were like dumping on it, but like at the very beginning, like, when it came out, because everybody had it, nobody rides it anymore. Like I don't see anybody riding the Hearthsteed, so it's become so uncool that it's cool.
Yeah, it's back in style, baby.
But I know what I'm gonna ride when I get flying. I'm gonna cop
Oh,
Aaron's
Sam,
style.
I'm gonna ride the Hearthsteed.
We're gonna be
we're
the
gonna plummet
Hearthsteed
it back to
squad.
being. We're gonna plummet it back to being like unloved.
Oh God.
Look at these losers in their Hearthsteeds.
Ooh.
So, as those who have been listening for the past few weeks know, we've been doing a Pride Month Blizzard pin giveaway.
Whoa,
Wah,
whoa,
wah,
whoa,
wah,
whoa, 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 whoa.
wah.
Woo! We have nice multicolored rainbow Blizzard pins that we've been giving away.
For gay
and we
month.
have pulled, for Gay Month.
Woo!
for the gays.
We can say it, or two of us can say that. It's fine.
Yeah, I actually got in trouble for that one. That's gonna get censored in the final edit.
It's fine. We give you our gay blessing.
Oh, the powers flow into me and I'm imbued.
That's the essence that I got.
So, we've already had 2 winners, and we just pulled our last winner.
Drum roll, please. Hurry, I can't
Our
describe it.
winner is Earth to Vince. He wrote in to us on Twitter and said, "This Pride, I'm still obsessed with Khadgar. Knowledge is power, daddy."
I fucking love that. That's great.
I mean, we're all always obsessed with our daddy cat dad.
I
Cat Dad.
am deeply upset that he is gone this expansion so far. Maybe Caddy Zaddy will come back at the end there.
Yeah, what do you? What is Caddy doing? What's he doing in that tower?
Listen, he's busy.
Well, I think he's cheering on Earth to Vince.
Wait, you say he's playing Earth Defense?
He's cheering on Earth to Vince, our boy who won.
Oh, I was like, I think he's playing Earth Defense Force. I'm like, that Japanese game about the big ants?
I mean, I can see him playing that game. I think he's a
I
big
love
ant.
using the rocket launcher. It's so great, champion. It makes them scatter.
I mean, I guess he has had a lot of possible downtime since we haven't seen him in a little bit.
I got really into anime, champion. It's honestly frightening. I'm an otaku, champion. Get me Naruto DVDs.
Do you think Vince would love that? Our Pride Pin winner? Should we send him just like Naruto DVDs as well? Just like slip in some DVDs in there with it? Not tell him?
Of course, but not any of the good stuff. And in the middle of everything. So Earth to Vince, enjoy The Great T-Race DVD.
Oh no, don't do that to him.
But not the part where Sasuke goes crazy. It cuts right before. So just enjoy a nice foot race.
But regardless, congratulations, Vince. We will be sending you your pin in the mail. And thus concludes our 2019 Pride Month giveaway.
Sorry to the
It's
entrance
illegal
that
to be
didn't
gay
win.
now.
Maybe next year you could try again. If there's more pins, we'll give them away then.
I feel like we'll probably have another giveaway at some point during the year, too.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun submissions, but I mean, you didn't win, so we can't read them.
You should have prayed harder.
Pray to the gays. Okay, but now that boring stuff is done, all that drabble, Earth to Vince. I can't say that. I can't drag Vince. We have so much to talk about this beautiful island. Is Nazjatar? It's not really an island. Wait a minute. Hold up. Does Nazjatar?
It's technically at the bottom of the sea, so it is an entire world with finite borders.
But
I've never thought about this. It's not an island because she opened the sea and it's the sea floor, so it's land. But it's...
hold up though. But the rules don't say the sea has to be under you. It just says an island is a landmass surrounded by sea on all sides, right? Right?
It's
Right?
not surrounded by sea above.
So
Although I guess a standard island is not surrounded by sea below it because it is Earth. So that is fair.
So I think
Nor above.
I think it still qualifies as being an island despite the rules being all fucked up.
Okay, so listen up here. I just contacted Merriam-Webster's website, and they define an island as a piece of land surrounded by water. So, yeah, I guess it's technically an island.
Wow, Merriam and Webby being really, really vague with that one.
They are
The
covering my
official
ass.
Merriam and Webby is less distinct than we were.
Well, I'm glad that somebody out there gets it. Thanks, MW. This one's for you. But where do we even start? Oh, because like we kind of had like a mini discussion. We're like, okay, so we're gonna play together. What zone are we gonna start in, Mechagon or Nazjatar? But then we're like, I guess Nazjatar because it makes us go here. So I guess we're gonna start there.
But I will say it's been on record on this podcast too, or on our interview, or maybe it was on our interview with Ro on his podcast, that I said that I was going to question Nazjatar first.
I think that it was a toss-up, and then after seeing the whole, like, Mechagon is a dungeon, not a city thing, I, too, shifted to Nazjatar. So I wasn't heartbroken at our decision.
For the gnomes.
I mean, we'll get to them. Maybe next episode we can dedicate ourselves completely to Mechagon once we all level through it. But I guess you guys want to start with talking about the intro cinematic when we first arrive to Nazjatar.
I personally loved the fact, and I know it's in the story, it's like, oh, we caught like one or two of their spy ships, but we're all just casually going down the ocean, the Hordes 3 to R60, as it cuts between like Lorthamar and what's his name? Why am I blanking? Literally like the second most important Horde guy.
Lorthamar?
No, Sylvanas' pal.
Oh, Nathanos.
So
Aaron's no is so no.
we see Lorthamar and Nathanos just casually like picking their nose on the ship, and then it zooms out and it goes back, and you see Shaw and Gen like gritting their teeth, like, "Oh, we're gonna get them so bad."
Okay, so I was talking with a coworker today who was watching like these cinematics, and he is like, why does the Horde suddenly only have 2 ships in their entire navy? What happened there?
Yo, we fucked them up. That's why.
Yeah, I forgot we blew them up.
And I was like, did we destroy literally their entire fleet? Like, was this, when did we do that exactly?
We were winning. We were winning that fight. It seems like we had like just bombed their boats, just wrecked them, and we were just chasing them to the ends of the earth.
And they didn't have a lot of boats to begin with, because in the war campaign we blew up a lot of boats. Daza, we messed up their navy in a major way.
I think that Thanos was more than excited to get opened up by the sea, because he's like, well, I'd rather fucking die to this whirlpool than lose to the Alliance. Like that's what I got from his fucking weird ass, like, I'm happy to drown.
Yeah, because about that as well, yeah, he was just like, yeah, this seems about right, as the water was opening up and they were crashing down to like the bottom of the ocean. But also, did you guys pick up that he was holding what I think was, well, Beyblade, but just the blade?
Huh. So he's trusted with Zeltanath now.
Yeah, I need to rewatch that.
Now that it's just a sword.
Because I don't remember what's the progression of the blade up to this point. Because I know that Sylvanas had it, but then that's all we know about it, right? Is that Xalatath? Because I remember seeing that and thinking, oh, that's Xalatath, but I don't think I ever confirmed it, like, to go back and watch it again.
I mean, what else would Nathanos be holding, I guess? I guess it doesn't really make sense to me that he'd be holding Xalatath either, but...
Well,
maybe it's like a security blanket thing, where, like, Sylvanas was like, Nathanos, go and attack their navy. And he's like, my queen, I'm frightened. And she's like, hold my knife, Natty B, and you'll do it. You'll do it better. And he's like, oh, shit, my lady's knife. I'm all about this now.
Knifeu. Well, the reason why I asked now is because when we were playing yesterday, one of the shamans in our guild was talking, and he was in guild chat, and he said, wait, what is my resto artifact weapon doing on Nazjatar? And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And apparently, the resto shaman artifact is on Nazjatar, like, just chilling, and it's like part of a quest line. And I don't know if I missed this quest line, or if it's shaman only, or if I haven't done it yet. So now I'm just like, are we just gonna bring back all the artifacts and like use them? Like, is that what's happening?
Well, it is.
I think
it is it is related to the Naga. That thing. I want to say it is Ashara's like pearl or something like that.
Yeah, so I think maybe what he's talking about is okay, so in the initial quest line when you first crash land and you're with Gen and Jaina and you're like trying to maneuver your way through the seafloor, and then you remember you come up to the top of this hill and there's like this artifact that's just like planted in the ground. And then Gen's like, "What is this?" And Jaina's like, "I think this might be a trap." Was that the artifact?
Did I space out and just not record any memory of this quest happening? Because I don't remember that at all.
No, yes, that was 100% because I googled it here. Charlesdal, Scepter of Tides, and it doesn't have a proper name, but you do run by it, and you have to like tap it to like you use it to create extra magic to make the portals. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah,
that's a shaman artifact.
She's like, oh, we can't make portals, and then you use the Resto Shaman artifact, and she's like, now we got the juice.
Weird.
I thought that like after you touched it, then like some weird thing pops out that you have to kill.
I just remember it was called Scepter of Tides, the thing that we touched, and this is called like Charlesdal Scepter of Tides. So I assume that's what they're talking about.
Can we talk about Jaina saying her magic is blocking portals, and then the minute the scene ends, I, a mage, just dropped a portal to Borealis, and she walked through it. Didn't even try to use it. I'm like, Jaina, we can leave right now. And her again is like, no, we're trapped here. We can't get out.
I definitely did the same thing though.
Mage life.
Also, what we were talking about last week on the pod was about how during the trailer for 8.2, there's a clip of Priscilla firing cannons at something, and we weren't really sure what she was firing at. But then, like, actually questing through the Alliance storyline, we're like, oh, she's firing at literally just me, Gen, and Jaina.
Yeah, it's just like, let's see what they're up to, champion. And you peer your little eyes over, and she's like, shoot the cannons, and then you just
she's like, there
back.
They are, shoot at them.
And it's not even dire. Gen's just like, oh, I guess that's where they are.
Yeah,
and
Jaina's like,
and go away.
Jaina's like, quick, champion, turn around, let's get out of here. And then you just get out of here.
Let's beat cheeks, champions.
All the Naga were just like, what the fuck is she talking about? Like they didn't even recognize like there were enemies on that cliff. And, like, I guess their little beady eyes can't see so well on land, probably.
So after we escape Priscilla's like cannon fire, we pretty much immediately after that meet up with the head of this new race that we get to interact with for the rest of the patch, or probably the expansion.
Yep, the
Anchor Boys.
Did anyone flag what their actual name is?
The Anchor Boys.
And you know what? Because my boy says the name of it so many times. I guess that just shows how little I think of him. Because he's always like, the blank clan, the blank people.
It's the Ann Cohen. I knew the name.
The Ann
I was
Cohen.
just hanging on to it.
I see. Well, my 7th grade math teacher, Ann Cohen, shows up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, so we meet up with Blademaster Okani, the leader of the Ann Cohen.
And he's basically just like, hey, yo, Ashara sucks.
Yeah, and then Jaina basically straight up plays her racist card, and she's like, hey, you kind of look like these people we've seen before because you're all slightly aquatic.
And then she says, are they your kin? And it's like, Jaina, you can't just ask people if they're your kin. That's not how that works.
What the fuck?
But then they kind of confirm that they are former Jinyu.
Well, I mean, not really. I mean, they just said we moved. He's like, yeah, we moved.
I believe all they say is just like, we left the land ages ago.
But like,
and then Jaina like puts her hands on her hips and turns again like, they're just sieging you. And the end call is like, that's still really messed up, but I don't feel like educating you. So.
And then Jaina, immediately after that, right in front of them, out loud, turns to Gan, and she's like, yeah, I guess we can trust them for now.
Well, thanks, Bert. I couldn't do the underwater.
If they look like fish people and smell like fish people, they're fish people, right?
Of course, they're not beautiful like us, so they're just fish people.
Yeah, have you seen my gnome toes? They're beautiful.
My Draenei hooves.
Ugh.
I just know I'm awful looking. The fish people got that one on me. So we meet up with our boys, and they're like, Ayo, we have some people that we want you to train. Which brings us to one of the major features of this patch, trainable boys.
Eh.
I mean, I think it's fine. I mean, which one did you guys pick? I ended up picking Hunter Akani.
I ended up picking Blade Master Ikari.
I got the other guy. He's Farseer something. And it's funny because we didn't even try to get all three. We just happened to pick 3 different ones.
Now, was there a method of madness to your picking? Because I definitely just picked the first one out of 3.
I think I was like, this guy can cast water spells, and I can cast fire spells. And so together, we are double dragon. That was literally it.
Yeah, and I was like, well, this guy looks like he is like stabby and he can be up close with the enemy and I will be farther back, so and I can heal and he can do the damage for me. It'll work out. That was my process.
I wish I thought of that, because now that he's rank 3, he's becoming a ranged boy like me, and so he's not tanking. I'm tanking for him.
It's funny because you were saying earlier that before he leveled up to level 3, he didn't have any ranged spells, so he would go up and literally just use his hand and slap things.
I swear to God, he was just slapping everything. Like day 1, and I'm like, dude, like, you got spells, you gonna use them or not? But they weren't unlocked, apparently.
The only thing my boy is good at is dying, which is good because every time he shows up, he gives me a dark soliloquy before we head off. It's like, the Ancora are only comfortable when they're dead. And I'm like, awesome. That's a real vote of confidence, friend.
That sounds all up your alley, boy, because you keep dying, so go on, get out there.
Yeah,
I have to say,
mine says like some inspirational things when he comes back, like, yeah, let's do it, let's take these guys down. I'm like, okay, cool.
I have to say, I personally do not like the system, but not because of anything it gives us, but because when you're in a huge
oh my God,
PvP
yes.
fight, all of a sudden there's twice as many targets that means nothing when you hit them.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here slapping the tab target, being like, okay, goblin, 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 blood elf. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, there's so much clutter. When I was in that raid group doing the battleground thing on Nazjatar, I was in a 40-man raid. And so imagine how that fucking looked. Just like 90 things just floating around, because there were hunters and warlocks and whatnot. And I could not tell who was what. I couldn't tell who was a person I could talk to. It was too much.
I'm interested to see if they're more helpful or they're cooler when they upgrade. I just got level 3 like just before we started recording, which makes my guy more dodgy. I kind of wish he focused more on his blades than his dance moves, but I'll see if maybe down the line he actually gets neat.
Yeah, I'm not sure what my guy does at level 3 because mine's still level 2. I haven't gotten a chance to play yet today after I got home from work. So I'm interested to see how that feels, but I think overall I like having a bodyguard when I'm like going around questing, doing world quests like on my own. But I agree with the sentiment that when you're in a big ass world PvP fight, there's so much happening. Luckily my computer can handle all these polygons, but hey.
I think now that they're rank 3, the guy has considerably more health. I think now he has like 100k health compared to like 78,000 he had last time, I'm pretty sure. So they're getting beefier. Do we know what level they cap out at?
10 apparently, or at least the last ability is at 10.
How many do they have 3 abilities, or do they have more than 3 abilities?
I only ever saw the 3. Admittedly, I didn't look too into the system because I knew going in it wasn't going to be my favorite thing. But from what I could see, 10 appeared to be when they get their final, like, big attack.
I'm curious to look at, like, some data to see how much damage they're actually doing. Because I feel like they're not doing shit. I feel like they're just out there just doing nothing.
In the team fights, I always have goblins, and it's always goblins, because the horde can get all 3 weird races.
Excuse me?
But I swear
they're not goblins. They're gilbins. Ugh.
Gilbins.
They're literally goblins with gills, and I see what you did there, Blizzard. You combine them both into one name.
Gilblin.
But they get, like, Gilbins, Scrogs, and some other weird race, but people only ever bring their Gilbins.
Yeah.
But I get, like, 20 Gilbins punching me, and I don't feel like I'm in any danger.
Oh, God, no. I was fighting one, I just hit him, and he fell over. It's interesting because when we got there was that battleground thing I was talking about, that PvP World event that started up basically immediately when we all had our quests lined up and ready to go.
Yeah, I think it was already happening as soon as we arrived.
Every 3 hours, the who does someone announce it? Is it announced? I guess I don't remember how it's done.
So we have a vague human commander now. I don't know her name. But she comes up and she's like, champions, or she's like from the streets. She's like, heroes, we need to control this land. Go and fight for the might of the alliance. Like it's very vague. And then I believe it was 4 control points pop up.
I think it's 5 to 6. It's more than 4. Something like kind of tucked in and hidden away. It's at least 5.
Well, I know we didn't do very well. We personally did, but I think the Alliance ended up a solid 800 to 3,000 that time.
Yeah, everybody in the chat was being like, we're never going to win this. The Horde's always going to beat us at this kind of stuff. We rolled up, us 3, rolled up to a flag, and we're like, we're going to take this flag for us. And we took it. So it's interesting because they kind of phase out the area around the flags. So you can't actually, like, see the enemy on top of the flag until you get close enough, which I think is kind of cool, and I think that's probably going to affect flying too. I think it's going to prevent you from dive bombing into it without being able to see what's happening.
Mm-hmm. I would almost wonder if there was like a sphere of influence in which like you couldn't fly in it. So like you would go, but if you get too close, like your flying just shuts off and all of a sudden you're falling. I think that would be personally neat. So that you couldn't just go immediately down and you're right next to the flag. You actually have to approach on foot.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. But it's basically just like a capture the flag. You kill the enemy, stand under the flag, you get stuff. I think all you have to do is kill one enemy, and then you can get the rewards that are associated with the battleground. Or I keep calling it a battleground, and it's definitely not a battleground. Does it have? It's like just like a Nazjatar World PvP event. There's not really a good way to summarize that in a 1-bit word.
Yeah, I feel like everything else that Blizzard gives us has a defined name or something you're supposed to call it, but yeah, I think this is just a World PvP event that happens every 3 hours.
It has to have a name. It probably isn't catchy enough for us to remember what the fuck it is.
We also only kind of stumbled into it, so I'm sure the next time we intentionally catch it, we'll know.
Yeah, and then I guess if you're PvE, you have your own thing. So they have their own separate occasions for both of them. It's super weird.
Speaking of things that happen around the world, another thing we stumbled into while we were exploring were summons from the depths, I believe it was called. Do we have any information of what that's about?
Oh,
all I know
yeah.
is a purple skull showed up on the map. We ran to it. There was an enormous boss, and then we immediately had to run because there was 15 horde attacking it.
So I did Summons from the Depths. It was after a really rough time at another one of those world events. I turned off PvP because there were just too many horde, and I had to finish my dailies before going to bed. And it's funny, as I turned off war mode, my fishman, my Ann Cohen, said, "Do not lose hope, especially when it is the last thing you have." And I was like, "Oh, Mr. Ann Cohen, you know just what to say."
If you turn off war mode, I die.
But so I went out to Summons from the Depths, and it wasn't horde infested. And it's basically just a world boss, kind of. It's remember how Legion invasions worked, where like you kind of killed mobs and then a big boss came. It's kind of like that, but a little bit shorter. You just kill shit, and then eventually it spawns a big guy. And the one that it spawned was Fury of Azshara, which is cool because remember in Eye of Azshara, the last boss is called the Wrath of Azshara, the guy who like screams like nonsense. He goes, "The Wrath of Azshara."
I'm glad the Cookie Monster could join us for a recording.
But so yeah, and then we just killed him. We killed him, and then he gave me like gold, and he gave me either I think it was mana pearls he gave me. I'm pretty sure, but I was like, oh okay, whatever. But I'm curious what like their loot table is and what else they can drop.
Yeah, I was curious if they were in the adventure guide somewhere, but I couldn't find them when the first time when the three of us ran into one of these big boss things.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, because whenever I get there, it's always at the very end. It's never at the beginning. So I want to know how these things start. So maybe we'll have to figure that out. Run through one of those zones, or run through that zone.
So we've talked about a few denizens of the deep, but I'm interested in some more. So I'm pulling heroism.
Oh, here it comes. I'm gonna pop heroism.
So for this week's heroism, I'm interested in the aquatic race we know a little bit more about. There are a bunch of Tortolans all around the world. How many can you name?
Okay.
And
Kojo,
begin.
Collector Kojo.
Roko.
Anne. Mabel.
So Scroll Sage Nola.
Ah, fuck me, I lost. God, I was playing as Gum Gums. There was a very sassy one. She was an old lady. She was a guard. What the fuck's her name? Anne. Methuselah.
I'm trying to think about what other ones we know.
Collector Rojo. Collector Smojo. Collector Joe Rogan. Collector Poe the Poe.
Well, I didn't think there'd be a bunch of them, but it was about the turnout I expected.
Did we name the three you expected?
Yep, so Immune won with Roko and Scroll Sage Nola, and Slide had Collector Kojo.
Oh my god, I'm so proud of
There's
myself.
also Akua, Apek the Unkillable, Chaka the Ancient, Joma, Jewel, Kato, Keisha, Merchant Kuda, Trader Crow, Krua, Lashk, LaRoja, Majo, Trader Nog, Recall, which are all like, okay, you'd have to know. But this is the one that I thought you might get because they announce his name every time you do Freehold.
Oh.
Ludwig von Tortolan.
Oh, I totally forgot about him, even though he's a boss we fight all the time.
I love his name, by the way. Great name.
Yes. It's such a shame he plays second fiddle to the Shock Punch!
You mean Ian Hazikosa's character?
Exposed.
Gasp. So, Immune, you take this week's heroism.
Oh my god.
This is the first time in 50 episodes? Because we've done 50 episodes, right?
Hey, listen, we don't talk about how many times I've won these games because it's not many.
It is the first time in over a month. I know that because Immune gave us a very nice spreadsheet. Actually, just kidding. There were 3 interim weeks. It's the first time in almost 2 months.
No.
But it doesn't matter because you got it now. It's like Leo DiCaprio. You got it eventually.
So here I am, and I'll be here next week with something of my own for you two.
Out of who?
Bada boop.
So, as we all established, somehow we just by chance picked 3 different bodyguards, and our initial theory was that what bodyguard you had changed what daily quests were available to you to level up your guy, but I think we may have proven that incorrect because I think some of us
Ooh.
had the same daily quests.
Did we?
So, what did you guys have?
I thought ours were all different. I had to take boogers and cover geysers. And I thought that was just yesterday. But then today I also did a world quest with my guy. And I still had to cover more geysers with boogers. And then I helped a little girl find a book. And I found some scrolls. Yeah, booger, geysers, scrolls.
That's nothing. My boy wanted me to pick 8 berries, and then we opened a weird chest he found, and then we used a stinky sponge to find Naga spies.
I'm sorry, but you use a stinky sponge to find spies?
He gave me the sponge, which I throw on the ground, and the fart cloud that emanates from it goes on the ground like a cartoon pie smell to allure a cat to a windowsill. But instead of alluring a cat, it brings out a Naga that we then murdered. And we did that 5 times.
Interesting.
That poor Naga.
Couldn't help himself.
I thought maybe we proved this theory wrong because I thought one of my first ones had to do with planting the seed, or was that just a normal quest?
That's a normal quest.
I think that's a normal quest.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
It just gives you herbalism stuff that you can't use because you are not an herbalist.
Interesting. So I guess maybe our theory still holds up about the way that these daily quests are distributed. Because I had one where I had to use this lasso to pull down these manta ray things and kill them for some meat to feed like his tribe mates. And then I had one that I cannot remember for the life of me right now because I thought feeding the plant was the third one. So it must have been very uneventful if I do not remember it.
It sounds like all of them are pretty uneventful, pretty mundane things.
Did you cover boogers over geysers?
No, but the last one that I do remember, I believe, is actually very memorable.
Oh, shit. What is it?
So
Oof.
I had this last daily quest that I could not for the life of me find the entrance to or where it was. Like the explanation part on the map was outside of like the wall of like, okay, so you know how Nazjatar is surrounded by the giant like Moses parted the seas and this is like a giant wave wall thing. So on the map it was outside of that. So I figured I had to dive underneath somehow to make my way to try to find where this quest is. So I hop into this pool, I dive underneath, and I come back up, and I'm in this underwater, like, above ground cave that is a bunch of murlocs everywhere, and it's set up, it's a bar. It's like this underground bar, technically a dive bar, huh?
Boo.
And it's run by none other than former sexiest NPC of the week, King Murgle himself.
What?
I mean, if there's anyone that I trust with my libations deep under the sea, it's that sexy, sexy king.
Wait, so what did he have you do? Like, you're just hanging out with him like in a bar? Is he a bartender? Is he just a guy chilling at the bar?
He is 100% the bartender, probably owner of this establishment. He's serving up drinks for all of these murlocs, and
He's
asked,
serving up looks.
yeah, he like took our trophy we gave him. He's like, I'm gonna cash in all my coins that these boys gave me. I'm opening up this bar for all my murloc friends, and his world quest was to have us go out and kill all these crabs. And I'm like, wait. You're part of Deta. You're not supposed to have us be killing some crabs. And he's like, yeah, keep this one on the low. They're overpopulated and they're in the way of my clientele.
Is that what he said?
Did he actually say to keep it on the low?
Yeah, no, he basically said, I know it's against what I do as a Deta member, but... And then he gave some reasons about why it's okay.
Whoa. Wait, in this dive bar, are there actual murlocs drinking actual drinks?
Oh yeah, there are tons of Murlocs all around, and they're up at the bar, like on the bar stools, and he's behind the bar serving them
Why
drinks.
the fuck am I hanging out with this loser Farseer Oni when I could be fucking hanging out with King Murgle in a dive bar?
Why am I squeezing fart sponges?
I have placed
Why must I smell too?
I have placed so many bookers over geysers. I'm sick of it. I could be hanging out with the Murgle.
Yeah, sounds like you guys need to pick up my follower.
You heard it here, everyone. Go pick up the hunter guy because you hang out with
What's
King
his
Murgle
name?
Murgle.
I feel like you said his name and then you forgot it as you were saying.
Yeah, no, his name is Hunter Akana.
Yeah, I guess if you want the coolest experience and not talking about fucking boogers, hang out with Hunter Akana. Akana? Like N instead of an M?
Akana.
So just Akama, like the broken Draenei, but with an N.
I suppose so, yes.
Are they related?
Sometimes when you Scrabble
Are they
Scrabble
kin?
tile names together, will we kill his shade?
I hope so. Huh. Well, okay. Well, Immune sounds the fucking coolest. Damn. I'm kind of. I mean, I guess I can pick him up whenever I want. Well, no, it's daily, right? You can only get one bodyguard per day, I think.
Yep, the fire makes sure that you know that when you pick him.
The fire, the all-seeing fire who gives the quest.
Yeah. I kind of did miss having dailies, though. It's fun, exciting. I'm sure we'll get tired of it eventually, but for now, it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, we said it earlier, but it definitely does feel like a whole new expansion because we're in a new zone. The Heart of Azeroth got rehauled. Oh, shit. We can talk about that. The Heart of Azeroth overhaul feels so much different, and it feels so much better. So much better.
I agree 100%. I feel like up until this point, it felt like an incomplete expansion piece. It felt like it was just a stat stick that we felt like we had to level up before just because it had better stats and because you had like better Azure armor unlocked after it. But now it feels like a unique thing that everyone can customize. There are so many different options and you get them in different ways. It just feels right now.
And when you get the high level abilities from it, you can do a wide variety of things. Earlier on our social media, we retweeted some of the visual effects that come with a lot of these essence abilities. And it's a lot of like interesting things. There's a huge laser beam, there's a huge AoE, there's one that looks like it like embeds itself into an enemy and then explodes around them in an AoE explosion.
Yeah, that artist.
There are some where you just kind of blow, like it just kind of makes you glow, which admittedly isn't cool, but I'm sure that's the one I'll be using.
That artist blew it out of the fucking park because like the ones like at level 1, they're so measly looking compared to these level 4 essences. And one that I'm curious about is the healing one. There's one where like the healer like does a big AoE heal and the healers go into the sky and they rain down on top of like the raid group. And I wonder if that is only seen by the healer or if everyone can see it. Because if everyone can see it, that shit is gonna scare people. It looks like lightning striking. Like it's so visually like beautiful, but also terrifying.
I feel like Blizzard has been pretty inconsistent about like individual things like that and whether or not the raid or other people can see them. And I feel like it'd be useful for the raid to see this, or like or maybe not. I don't know. I think it looks awesome, and I probably am going to be trying to get this because it looks badass, and I want another AoE heal.
Can you imagine if like 6 people activated their level 4 Moira beams at the same time? It's just like it's like, oh, move to the right. It's like, I don't know what right is. People are doing their Moira beams.
I think we need to become essence hunters. We need to get these rank 4 things, and they're not easy. They're fucking hard. Like, this shit is gonna be back-breaking. To get the healing one and the Moira beam, you have to get Keystone Challenger Season 3, which means that you have to run every Mythic Plus on a 15 and beat it within the time limit.
Oofa doofa. Well, you know what? Then the Moira beam will never be something I can do.
You're already giving up on it? You're already surrendering?
I did my first Mythic Plus like a week ago. It was my first one in 2 months. I don't
Hey,
know.
season 3.
I struggle with like 9s, let alone 15s.
Season 3, they're overhauling dungeons. That's not an overhaul. That's an overstatement. They're tweaking the dungeons, so like they're different. There's different requirements to get them now for timers and for trash. And if we just run with the guild, like there are some good ass DPS in the guild and tanks that we can hang out with and get this Keystone Challenger. I think this is almost. It's not exactly the new Mage Tower, but it's kind of in that same vein that like I want this visual. Even though by the time I get it, I guess it's almost time for the expansion to be over. So who knows?
I mean, it's still a flex, you know?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a flex. I love me a go flex. Like there's so many essences, and it's very interesting because we have to run different content to get them. So right now, what? Me and Aaron have 3. You said you had 2 immune, right?
That is correct.
And that's just the base value things that we've done. Just doing in Nazjatar. Nazjatar. We haven't done anything. We haven't done anything in Mechagon, which I'm assuming we get essences from there, maybe. But we can get an essence from running island expeditions, from doing battlegrounds, from doing raided battlegrounds. There's not a pet battle one, but there should be. There should be a fucking pet battle essence. That would be hilarious.
I feel like people would be
Just-
very tilted about that, but I agree. There should be something for everything.
Just make a thing for every single thing. Make like a T-Mon collecting essence.
A
Make it
trial
make
of
that, like,
style.
the Silly Billy ones.
A trial of
Yeah,
style
make that
essence.
the Silly Billy ones where it's like you're 5% bigger.
Wait, well, that's kind of a thing with benthic armor, right? Isn't there benthic pants or something that makes you grow bigger by 5% when you wear them?
Yeah, so
Mhm.
another thing that came out in 8.2 is benthic gear, which is good if you're leveling in alt, or even for us right now, honestly. It's basically like what we saw at the end of Draenor in Tanan Jungle, where you can use, like here it's mana pearls to buy this gear, and it creates for you a piece of gear, and depending on what slot you buy the gear for, it can forage into several different kinds of stats, and then different, in addition to the stats, they have another ability. And with the pants, for at least the cloth set, for one of the things that it can forage to, its effect is in Ashara's Eternal Palace, your character is 5% bigger.
It's so stupid, but it's so cool. Because I'm glad that there are, like, we need more things that are just dumb, fun things. Like, yeah, I don't know these pants. You want to know why? I grow in these pants. Like,
I hope you don't just phase in big. I hope it's like boop, 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 boop. Like when you first walk in, you see yourself grow like 3 inches. Like, yeah, I bet you guys didn't expect that. I'm 5% bigger.
It's like an on-use ability that you click on your pants,
Oh
and then
my
it makes you
God.
bigger.
yes, give me the pant ability.
They had those at the end of Legion too, right?
Yeah, but
They
not
had
to this
the
extent.
Light Forged
This
gear.
extent is like you put on that gear and that was it. But like the fact that you can upgrade this gear with mana pearls is a game changer. I didn't think about this. I was at work today and I realized I was like, I can literally decide any of my 7 Alliance 120s can be my main right now, because I just take them into Nazjatar, I get them benthic gear, I get them mana pearls, and it'll upgrade before raid. So like my paladin, my demon hunter, my monk, any one of them can be my fucking main despite being low eye level. It's kind of cool. It's a good catch-up mechanic for all the fogies coming back.
It's good shit.
Because our guild fucking exploded with people returning to the guild. This is good gear for them, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I'm sure Dolly will appreciate some nice gear after he returns from his very nice dinner.
I'm sure that Dark Knight could use some after he replays Bioshock and finds out what the hell he was even talking
He was
about.
dropping those Bioshock references in guild today.
Yep, he was sure excited for him. I'm like, you're not correct. And I received a message like, shh, it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to correct him.
It is very noticeable though, like in Guild, how many people have come back for 8.2. Like normally when I get home from work at around this time, like 3 o'clock, I'll play WoW, and like there'll be like 5 of us online. There was like 20 people online, and I'm like, this is hopefully gonna keep people, because I guess people they really did not like pre 8.2. It's whatever, but
I don't know. I think literally the three of us are the only people in the world that liked pre 8.2 BFA.
we did not fall off the wagon once. Like there was never a day that I was like, I'm gonna stop playing Battle for Azeroth. Like I just kept trucking, and honestly, the patch took a while to get to us, 8.2, but I would have survived a little longer because I had more alts to catch up. Which I guess that the secret is always alts, right? That's it.
Yeah, it's like your secret
Yeah,
back
it's
pocket
just-
card you play when you're a little bored with WoW.
I'm getting bored of the current content, so I'm just gonna f up and start all over.
Basically. And I guess before we do our closing bottom boot top 2, have you guys been going through your green items that you've been looting? You're buying on equips that you're getting from like killing random Naga and stuff?
Ooh.
I have. It's getting me new T-Mog, even if it's not useful stuff.
Same here. I was so excited that one mob dropped me some T-Mog. It's offhand, and it's literally just a scroll that is like unraveling in your hand, and it looks really cool. I'm so happy that I got this. I'm gonna try to make a whole mog around it.
Like it's just a fucking paper scroll. Like that's all it is.
Yeah, I'll post a picture on the Twitter or something. It's like a piece of parchment that's unrolling, and you can like see like a bunch of writing that has been on it.
I just got a lot of knives. Just like 4 knives.
I mean,
And
yeah, I also got like 3 or
it's
4 knives.
It's just 4 variations on the same knife. But I guess it tracks because the Naga are like essentially naked, except for maybe a spare pauldron. So it's like it makes sense that I'm just looting their knives.
It's so funny because I have gotten so used to looting green items and being like, got it. I have every version of this for mail, plate, cloth, and leather. So I'm gonna scrap it. And I literally just went to the scrapper and like, I want to scrap all this green gear. And I was like, wait a minute, this is barnacle themed. There's coral on these shoulders.
Yeah, there's whole new sets we don't have anything about like yet. It's cool. I'm excited for this T-Mog. Oh, speaking of T-Mog, 8.2, we can be naked now.
Okay, have we confirmed you can be 100%?
You can't take the pants off.
Well, I mean, obviously not like titties out, but like so you still can't take your pants off.
Correct. But let's make slut mogs and then run around Nazjatar killing people.
You say that as
you
if I
know
already
it.
don't have my slow mog on.
Also, we keep tangenting as we end because there's so much to talk about. I need you guys to reinstate the faith. I am growing very weary on wearing this fucking eyeball from the salt on my head. Please help. I don't want to take it off, but I kind of do. Because I have the gnome heritage armor. I have it, and I have the goggles that move, and I can't see them because I'm wearing it. I'm wearing the salt's eyeball.
I too have had a test of faith. I don't like it, and I just want to wear my top hat and all the other cool stuff. I've missed having things on my head, even when it didn't look great.
I asked you to reinstate the faith.
And
You're
at
not
this point-
reinstating the faith in me.
Listen, guys, the only reason I don't like it, and I've been fine with it, I'm like, yes, praise him, praise Nazoth. But
Praise 'em.
the only reason
Maybe.
I have the only reason I've strayed a little bit is because during these cinematics we got in 8.2, it cut to me and it did not have the eye on me. It had
No,
whatever
yeah,
hat I had
I had-
on. And I'm like, I
I had my
not
top hat on.
I did not consent to this. I made my mog around this eyeball.
In lieu of his eyeball, for all the non-believers to see, he has a very normal log on his Draenei lady, and then he has that horrible, big, ugly squid mask with the big hat on. So he has a completely normal mog, but then in these cutscenes, he's wearing this big, ugly Iron Maiden tentacle skull.
Yeah, but to me, it looks like a normal Mog with like an eye headband.
I feel like this is a test, right? We can't take our fucking eyeballs off when we're literally in Nazalt's backyard. Like, we're in his backyard. We can't take it off. And the fact that they're making it so cinematic to let us show our regular Mog means that they're thinking about us. They're thinking about us, the 3 people left who are wearing this eyeball. 4. I know 1 guildie who's wearing it still, and that's it.
I don't know. I'm thinking that they didn't think about us.
I think they did. So maybe, you know what, maybe I have been wavered. Maybe if we just hang in there until raid, 2 weeks. If we can hang in for 2 weeks, there might be a payoff. Ugh.
What if they honor us with NPCs like they did like Red Shirt Guy? Like Nazoth has like 3 helpers that are just a gnome, a Draenei, and a warg, and like they are keepers of the faith.
Cause like
I've never once considered taking my eyeball headband off.
Well,
And I just kind of shrink.
yeah,
Like,
kind of maybe. Yeah, I would love to know if they have stats on people who originally like had the eyeball and how many purged it, and like how many like in the coming days have just consistently gotten rid of it. Because there can't be that many people left wearing this fucking eyeball on their head. Like, I don't see anybody in Nazjatar or Borealis wearing the squid hat. Nobody.
I saw one guy and I congratulated him. I was like, "You did it. You have the eyeball. You've kept the faith." And he turned to me and he messaged me and he was like, "I'm going to go do the quest to get rid of it."
Wait, no.
And the entire time I was whispering him, I'm like, "No, don't do it. Don't do it." And he was like, "Leave me alone. It's done." And I'm like, "Ah!"
What the fuck? What did you...
Like I watched a man jump off a
What
bridge.
did you do? You turned a man away from our church. Praise him.
No.
Praise him.
Maybe.
Definitely.
No, praise him.
Praise him,
Definitely.
definitely. All right, we need to move into our top 2, medium moot, bottom moot, before we just keep talking. 'Cause also, I want to play more 8.2, so we gotta end this shit. Aaron, what is your top 2, bottom moot, or medium moot?
My top toot of the week is that I am getting mad honor from just being in Nazjatar, because you roll up on like a 20 versus 20 faction fight. You just kind of roll back and forth and throw fireballs. And I am pretty sure, I know one of the requirements for Pathfinder is to get 50 kills. I'm sure I've like 1.5 that. From just the fight alone today, I racked up like 20 kills, and I didn't even do that much. You just throw a meteor in, and it's like, well, anyone who dies technically was my kill. It's very nice. The graph of my PvP kills has severely shot up.
Hell yeah, motherfucker.
Hell yeah! So, Slide, what is your TTBBMM?
Is it a sin to have both a top toot and a bottom boot?
Yes, but
No.
that's fine.
No, my child. It's up to you.
I'm going to start with my bottom boot because it's very short and it just has consistently pissed me off. These 2 I already know because whenever it happens, I literally scream. I don't know what's happening on this fucking island of Nazjatar, but never before have I been riding a mount through mobs and have been dazed on the first hit so many times. Consistently, I'm running through this fucking place, and one little fucking crab will hit me, will daze me, and dismount me. It's happened, I've counted, 12 times in one day. That is way too many times. I don't know if it's how the map's set up. I don't know if it's... because I know if you're hitting the back, it has a higher chance to dismount you than in the front.
I think it's literally just you, because like when the 3 of us were running together, it only ever happened to you, and we like took turns running first and second and third through mobs.
Is it just like horribly bad luck? That is terrible luck. So my bottom boot is me getting dismounted so many times that I'm sick of it. But my top toot is gonna be that gnomish heritage armor. It was really cool. Mechagon wasn't fully restored, but they've made an area of it that is them working on it. They've cleared out all the fucking leper gnomes. They cleared out all the gas, and now there's level 120 gnomes in there who are working away at it. They're like fixing it up with like wrenches and screwdrivers, and they're spraying stuff in there. So I'm kind of hopeful that maybe when Mechagon finishes, have Gnomergon 2.0 after all these fucking years.
After like literally a decade plus.
I'm gonna give my top 2 to potential Gnomergon rebuilding and the beauty that is the gnome heritage armor. I talked shit about it before, but seeing it in person, ooh, those gears move beautifully on your shoulders, and the cape, it's so high res. You can see all the logo of Gnomergon. I'm a huge fan.
So, Immune, what is your TTBBMM?
Well, my top toot of the week is, I already mentioned it earlier in the podcast, but it was being shocked to see our sexiest NPC opening up a dive bar in the middle of Nazjatar. Like, that was so cool. I like popped up there and I'm like, oh, that's my boy.
The Murgle.
I always like when we can do good things for good people.
Yeah, I think after this, you should take us to this fucking bar, because I want to see you, because I'm assuming we can see it. It's not phased to just you and your followers, right? Like, we can all go there.
Yeah, I'll just bring you guys there. It's my crib now, you know, I have an inn, like...
What up, MTV Cribs?
right behind the bar on the rail, next to the Grey Goose on the top shelf, you can see like our sexiest NPC of the week trophy that he keeps there because he's so proud of it.
Ooh, bitch, he fancy. He actually makes drinks in the trophy. He mixes them in there.
Yeah, he's waiting for a second trophy so that he can just use like the 2 trophies like on top of each other as like a shaker.
All right, well, tell him not to get too fucking greedy. He can't get a double award so soon.
Tell him we only got like 30 of these things.
Yeah, we have to make another bulk order before we can think about that.
Oh god, if we only have 30, we're running out real soon. We're about to hit our max. But yeah, all right, I think that's it for us. We're gonna go play some more WoW. If you guys have any questions, complaints, anything at all you want to send to us, you can email us at donotrelentlpod@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at donotrelentlpod. If you say anything to us, we'll mention it on the podcast, I'm sure, because we're lonely. What about you guys? Where can we find you guys in the hit TV show Cyber Chase?
Oh, well, you can find me, Alex or Immunization, on Twitter at New Era Alex, but I guess if we're in Cyber Chase, you can also find me in the Motherboard.
Oh shit.
If you want to find me, Aaron the Human, you can go to The Big Cheesy on Twitter. But if you want to see me on Cyber Chase, I'll always be right behind Gilbert Godfrey.
Oh my god, is that the
Kind of out
Robo
of frame.
Dog?
He's the
That's
bird.
No, it's the robot bird.
Oh, I thought, okay, I mixed him with the Jimmy Neutron dog.
I was thinking of rough.
You'll also find me behind Goddard. I have a lot of free time.
Got it, but reference to the same guy.
I thought you were thinking of Rough Ruffman, the dog, the trivia dog, who was on after Cyber Chase. And I was like, no, wrong.
That deep Ruffman
Man,
reference.
can we?
I'll be behind him too.
Can we make a Rough Ruffman podcast? I would love to dissect every episode of Rough Ruffman.
every episode of every episode of Cyber Chase, but yeah, just the Rough Ruffman.
I mean, I guess it's official. Now we are a Cyber Chase podcast as well, but only if I can sign off as I am hacker.
No. See, we're only a Rough Ruffman podcast. We're actually never going to Cyber Chase ever again. We're going to ignore it.
You guys don't know this, but I do every episode dressed up like my favorite green hacker character with a little curly mustache.
I love the name. Can you give us the name?
I'll get those kids.
Okay, yeah, we're done. We're out of here. We have to play some more World of Warcraft. See you guys next week. And remember,
Another down. Do not relent.
Do Not Relent is a podcast of the 3HNC Network, representing U.S. Proudmore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.